Oh, hold on a second. There we are. All right, so welcome to Why Rush Racing. I'm Charlie Hawkins. Today with me, Jordan Whitmer. And it's going to be a fun day. Jordan, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. It's been busy. Busy. Thursdays are quite busy for me. Of course, you got work, and then I got baseball practice.
Ooh.
And not for me, for my kid. And I'm the coach. And then just before you came, we were playing some basketball, so I'm still a little sweaty from doing that. And then on top of that, just trying to get this ready today.
Right.
So,
well, I'm honored to be here. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad you can make it. And so hopefully everybody out there is alive and well. Trying to see if I can actually see our Facebook stream. There we are. All right. So yeah, it looks like we got Jeff Ott and Bree with us, and so
there are people listening.
There are people listening, and they've liked it at least. I don't know. It's hard to see that. So what's going on? So we got, of course, Jordan here today. Also coming in later will be Layne Michael. Layne is a fast dude on the Pro 1 at the GNCC, or the XC1 actually. And then he's also racing the full grass sprint enduros this year in the Pro class. So looking forward to having him on. When you got Jordan here, you can't not talk about the Hillbilly GP.
Oh, it'll be easy.
Huh? Well, for you, maybe.
Well, yeah.
Because you're like, no, I've been doing that for the last 6 months. I'm ready to do something else.
Yeah, exactly.
Me, I can never get enough of it. So I'm talking about, I guess you can just sit there. I'll just talk to you.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
And then the other thing that with you, maybe you weren't more interested about this is it's kind of, it's kind of torn about, what do you call it? Endurance racing. Right?
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
I think hare scramble in itself is an endurance race.
It's more like a sprint.
So, yes, but somebody like you, it's like, no, that's too short for me.
Yeah.
If it's 3 hours or if it's less than like 8 hours,
yeah,
it's a jog, right?
Yeah.
It says, I want 9 or longer.
Yeah.
And so, because with that in mind, you are doing a 9-hour race this weekend.
Yes, this weekend is the Off-Road Cup, and I'm going to Ironman it and everything. So.
Well, you've been Ironman in it.
Yeah, this will be my 5th time.
5th? No, thank you. I mean, that's my personal preference. I have a hard enough time with 2 hours.
Well, trust me, by like hour 8,
You're over
questioning my sanity, and I'm like, why am I doing this?
I just remember. So was it 2 years ago? Yeah, it was the last time, most recent time. It was at the D-Day Adventure Park, which is like the world's largest paintball park.
Right.
According to D-Day Adventure Park, it's like you never know, the world's greatest burger according to who.
Right.
But man, it was like, I was in the C vet class, or maybe just straight. No, that time we were just straight up C, because I was at the time under 35.
Okay.
Even though I tried to say our average age is 42. Like,
right.
Can we get in the C vet? And they're like, nope. I was 34 and like 8 months old.
Yeah.
But hey, that's the rules. So it is what it is. So we were racing for like 8.5 hours before we finally caught you.
Yes, I remember that.
And you were only like 3 minutes ahead of us at the start. And I was like, how does he do it?
Just constant movement.
Just keep moving.
Keep moving. That's the goal. You just got to keep moving, have a good pit crew, have a good team, because that's what honestly gets us through, is our team that we bring with us.
Okay.
So,
well, we'll get more into that later, because there's just so much. There's a lot to it.
Oh yeah,
and I want to hear about it all.
Okay.
And so don't give us all the secrets just yet. We got to give them some kind of cliffhanger so they don't just sign off and.
Well, I'll give you more secrets after the weekend.
Oh, okay, good. Like, don't do it. It's a terrible idea. No. So, anyways, one thing. If you're watching this, thank you very much. One thing I would like for you guys to do out there is to tell people about this show, about what we're doing here. It's the only way it's going to grow. It's not going to be through me. Hopefully, well, it is. Hopefully, I can continue to bring good content that you guys enjoy.
Oh, it's wonderful.
You tell me that you like to listen to the podcast on the way to races, or when you're traveling to go.
Yeah, because usually on a Thursday nights, I'm traveling to the Hillbilly races wherever we're at that weekend. Yeah, and I'll plug this into the truck, and I'll listen to you guys as I'm driving down the road.
You should just blast it over the loudspeakers at the races.
Yeah.
Say, everybody subscribe to this.
Right.
So, but no, so yeah, tell people about it though. Don't keep it literally like, oh, this is my little secret, right? Share it with the world, and hopefully we can get more people watching this, more eyes, more ears, and all that stuff. And so, like, if you're watching right now on Facebook, hit that share button. Let your friends know what's going on in the off-road world and what's up and coming. But that's my spiel on that. Of course, we got the chat board going on. So on YouTube, I'm trying to monitor, it may be working on Facebook. I'm trying to monitor the feed there to see if people are chatting in that way too. And obviously that's not going to show up on the screen if you're watching this live. But if I can see it, if it actually works where I can see it on the screen here on my little tablet, I'll read comments as they come up there as well.
Oh, there we go.
So, but anyways, because I know we got questions for this guy here. I've gotten a few. And so I got some questions to ask you. And then whatever you guys got out there, we'll ask them too. And, no holds barred here, man. It'll be a fun time.
Yeah, bring it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So with that, let's see here. Jordan, how old are you?
I'm 33.
Okay. See, I would not have guessed that.
I like it.
I would have guessed much younger.
Yeah,
about
perfect.
Maybe 10 years, to be honest with you. 23 to 25 is what my guess was.
Right.
Definitely not 33. I was like, oh, man, okay. So it makes me feel older now. I'm 30, 36. And I don't know, maybe it's just because you have so much energy at the races and you just seem young.
We got to have energy.
Yes.
Otherwise we won't get done what we do get done.
Kim Jarman, thank you very much for sharing this on Facebook. I'm glad you can make it, and you can see it. So I have no idea still if there's no comments on Facebook, so that's cool. Anyways, it is what it is, and I'll just try to keep on keeping on. So are you from this area or?
I am from this area. I grew up in Forsyth, and then I moved up to the Springfield area for work and everything.
Okay, so you are living up here.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
so I was stalking you on Facebook earlier, and I was like, oh, shoot, does he still live in Forsyth? Like, I felt bad. I try to ask people that are relatively close to come on the show because it's not middle of the day, and you still got to drive home at night.
Yeah.
And so.
No, it's all good by me. I live in Nixa and everything, so.
Right on.
But I'm originally from Forsyth. I moved up here for work.
Okay.
Just to be closer.
So were you at the lake a lot in the summers, or?
Not really.
You're not, it's not, is that Taneycomo area, or is that Pepper Rock?
I grew up around Taneycomo and Bull Shoals.
Oh, okay.
And Swan Creek was right in my backyard.
Oh, Swan Creek. Uh-oh. Something's buzzing over there.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. Let's decline that. So, Swan Creek, I did quite a bit of time down there. We would go to, there's some swimming hole or whatever, I forget.
Oh, there's many.
Yes. It was funny one time. So I did a lot of whitewater kayaking too.
Oh, yeah.
So whenever it would rain, like it was load up your boats. Let's go kayaking.
Right. Yeah.
And it was coming down Swan Creek one time. There was a whole nude family like on the beach. They were there in this like old mail truck.
Right.
On the gravel bar. Like, how on earth did that thing get on the gravel bar?
Yeah.
Because they're not known for off-road capability.
No.
Then this little boy came up, like, naked, day he was born. He's like, "Hey, y'all, how's it going?" And I was like, "Good."
Yeah. Just gonna keep on paddling.
Yeah. So that was, but that's that. I forget the name of the hole, but it was the one we would also go to just to chill.
Yeah.
And have fun.
Right.
And so I guess, did you spend quite a bit of time on a dirt bike growing up, or?
Not until I was probably in 8th grade, 9th.
Oh, okay. So at the time I was starting to kayak, you were starting to dirt bike.
Yep.
Yeah, for me, dirt bikes were around.
Yeah.
But it was nothing more than, I've mentioned this before, but a tool.
Right.
Something to ride, to ride around.
Yeah. No, my dad raced when he was a teenager into his early 20s and everything.
Okay, yeah.
He did motocross, and so I seen pictures of him, and then I've always enjoyed motorcycles, but I never got my first one until like 8th grade.
Okay.
And then from there, when I did get it, I was just pretty much just riding on a gravel road.
Okay,
Because I didn't know much else.
Yeah, same here.
And so not until I met Chili through my uncle and everything, and that's when it developed into what it is now.
An obsession.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And so I have everything to blame on either him or my uncle.
All right, so we got it. So I think Aaron Roberts here, which is actually Chili, should be training right now. So are you pretty big on the training and fitness, or? Oh,
yes.
No, he's tapering right now. right?
Yeah.
So you've done your peak cycling or
Yeah,
your peak
I've done that
training,
part, yep.
and now he's tapering so that he's at peak fitness,
Right, yeah.
and just has all that energy ready to go.
That's where we'll go with,
when
yes.
when it comes to this weekend,
Right,
and
yeah.
the 9 hours.
Yep.
So no, I told him you can't. We're on
Yeah.
a strict training plan.
Right.
And it definitely involves doing the podcast
Yes.
tonight and not training.
See, and I've even got my water.
You see, he's even going to be hydrated. So, and then so Ashton. Oh, I think we know who Ashton is.
We do.
So do you look even younger when you shave?
Yes, I do.
You know what my kid said to me is that whenever I shave, I look like I'm in high school, and I'm like, that's why I kind of grow a little bit of hair.
Right? Yeah. Yep.
So
No,
like, thanks,
with you already thinking I'm younger, if I shave, I'm even younger than that.
Yeah, I have a coworker that he definitely has to shave, or definitely has to have some facial hair,
Right?
because he literally does look like a high schooler. He's a kind of a small dude to begin with, and just he looks young. And
Yeah.
and with what we do, we talking to people that are looking to us for professional advice.
Right.
You don't want to look like a high schooler necessarily.
Right.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
So he does. Kind of does what you do, just a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit there. I'm just lazy. Is what this is.
Oh, well, fortunately, unfortunately, this is about as much as I can grow. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
So that's what I found out. Is like it's pretty ratty. So I just kind of just buzz it.
Yeah.
And so that it kind of evens out the thinness, I guess.
Right.
So you got into, I guess, racing through Chile.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because he has a nephew that used to race and everything. He's about my age, within a year or so. But at the time, we had the exact same bike. It was a Yamaha TTR 125.
Okay.
And that sparked my interest in everything with what they were doing and how they did it and everything. And I was extremely bored and tired of just riding the gravel roads up and down. And so after going to Chile shopping, he's in Ozark, I'd go home and everything, and I'd tell my dad about it. And after pestering my dad enough times, we finally went up and down to, so
Hold on a second.
after going to Chile shopping, he's in Ozark.
There we go.
That's better.
Killed it. All right.
But so I'd go home and I'd tell my dad about it. And after pestering him for many, many times, we finally went to a race, my first one. And it was at the Bishke's place down in Arkansas.
Okay.
And so it was Arkansas Hare Scramble and everything. And so first one was 2 hours
Were the
long.
hillbillies even around at the time?
Oh, yeah, they were around.
They were.
Yep.
Okay.
But this was end of summer, middle of summer, somewhere around in there.
Okay. So this is pre-2015, so I know nothing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this was 2001, 2002.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah. And then you've been doing it ever since?
Yep, and I've been doing it ever since. And then the hillbillies, my dad would start taking me to them and everything. And
did your dad ever get back involved with it?
he did. He did for a long time until.
Here, let's cut that out.
Sorry.
He's clicking his pen. I don't know what you can hear out there or not, but
yeah,
I put the kibosh on it.
Sorry, but yeah, until I don't know. I think it was about 10 years ago when Spud and Chili were needing help and everything, or just looking for another sucker.
Yeah,
that's when they asked me, and I'm like, oh sure, this will be fun.
Yeah, and
yeah, it's fun at first.
Oh, at first. Now it's a job.
Yeah, now it's a job. And then, no, it's still fun. I still love doing it and everything. I love when everybody shows up on a Sunday and everything goes good.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy like my peewees. I'm with the 8 and unders. I enjoy watching what they do and the smiles at the end of the day.
Well, that's one thing I wanted to bring up with you. Is it seems like that's something looks like something you generally enjoy doing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And if you watch my videos, outside of this, and if you watch my race videos, I've never done a very good job of showing the peewees, at all. Like for me, at least, I don't know any. I know a few of them now, but the courses are so short, and it's just kind of like there's a lot of action going on.
Oh yeah.
And if you're really paying attention, you can kind of keep track of it, and you know the kids and all that stuff. But a casual observer like me coming in, I have a hard time figuring out what I'm watching.
Yeah, and as an outsider, it would be hard because all you see are little kids on about pretty much the same bike.
Yeah, and all zipping around and lapping each other, and you don't know what's going on. And so I guess what I'm saying is I've not done a lot of videoing of it or videos, but it's not because it's not great and you guys don't do a good job. It's just I haven't done it yet.
Well,
but it's really cool going to watch it though.
Yeah.
And just seeing those kids enjoy it, and then kind of like at the starting line, the enthusiasm you bring,
right,
really gets the kids involved and
yeah,
excited about it.
I try to get them pumped up and everything, and get them all excited. And
I don't know if you remember or not, but Oscar, he's done one race.
I thought he did too.
He signed up for a second one.
Okay.
See, and he's almost did a third. You tried your hardest on that third one, and actually for the second one too. But really for the second one, I forgot there were some other kids there that were really trying to just get him to do it.
Yeah,
and he's like, no. And I thank you for that.
Oh, no problem.
Because it is something he would enjoy. What happened to him is he doesn't want to lose. Right?
I don't either.
And so, well, yes, I don't either, but I'm okay with it, right?
Yeah.
And he didn't win his first, and he didn't care at the time. But then, later on, he asked, how did he do? Well, he got fifth.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, whatever. He doesn't like losing.
Yeah.
And it just hasn't been back. And he told me now, he says, if you give me a KTM, I'll race again. And I'm like, dude, I'm not getting you a KTM. We'll go get like a Honda 70 or something.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like something bulletproof that we can take to the farm and ride around. I don't have to just constantly maintain it.
Right. And the Hondas are bulletproof, like you said. The kids will actually learn more and become better riders on that than they would, say, a KTM.
Yeah. And it's like if you would have been riding this whole time, maybe.
Yeah.
But you're not there. And so you're like your skill level, not there. And then, just let's start simple.
Oh, yeah.
And because we can do that, go down to Dad's farm, ride around all you want to your heart's content. Can't really do that on a KTM 50. It's going to burn up. You know?
Yeah, definitely. We've had enough proof of that and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing is with kids is you need to not push them. You need to just allow them to ride. Because if you force them into it, you're going to take all the fun out of it. Yep. And then they're just going to be done with it all in general. Yeah,
I kind of felt like I mentioned I was baseball. Oscar didn't want to play baseball.
Yeah.
I said, you're playing baseball. We're going to do that sport.
Right.
And so the thing there, I tried to I didn't make him hit. I didn't make him really drill him on the form, for batting.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really drill him on all the technique stuff. I just tried to keep it fun. Let's catch the ball,
Yeah.
If you made a mistake, you got hit. I'm like, here's why you didn't catch that ball. You
move your hands.
Yeah, you got to catch it like this, not try to cup it like this all the time. I beamed him right in the chest because he was trying to catch it with his glove facing straight up, and it wasn't going to work. And it hit him right in the chest. I'm like, you got to hold your glove a certain way. You can't move your wrist up there. Anyways, but we got it going.
Yeah.
And so that's what I don't know. He can be frustrating, but you're right though. You got to make sure, number one, fun.
Right, exactly.
And that's what you do a great job with. And then what's pretty cool too is like with the Missouri Hare Scramble series, you kind of carry it on to that too. You've been helping set up a lot of the Pee Wee courses.
Most of the funny thing is on this year's Missouri's schedule, most of the races we're going to, they are hillbilly courses at one point in time.
So they're kind of already set up.
Yeah. And the Pee Wee courses, we've gone through them, we've hillbillied them, so they're trimmed right. Got the nice, cool, flowy trail through all the cool trees and dirt and everything.
Yep.
And that's the other thing we try to do with the Pee Wees. There's, for like the little kids, we try to make them glorified mountain bike paths.
Yeah.
That way, we take because they only have like 5 inches of ground clearance. So we take out all the rocks, all the roots that we can, and still give them the off-road experience, but still give them a great course at the same time.
Absolutely. So, and that's all you can do.
Yeah.
So, adults.
How
are adults? So, kids or adults? Who would you rather have to deal with?
It depends on the day and the conditions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, the kids are good. But the adults, they're fun too. Because I love screwing with you guys when you don't use a Steve. Because I can pass an entire class in a Steve when you guys just single file each other, especially off of a start.
Yes.
And so,
I will say this. You guys did something at Kilburn Woods. There was a Steve that, so the way you guys ran it this last time,
Yes.
I don't know if it got burned in like a hotline, but I don't know, it was maybe a third the way through. There was always a Steve that if you stayed left, you could always pass to the left, never go right. And it got fixed. And so this last time,
Right off the start?
no, that first one off the start, you want to stay right. But sorry, I spent a lot of time watching videos of myself racing it and like, all right, I need to do this, that, and the other.
Well, I never follow anybody, so if there's an open line, I'm taking it.
Within a reason, yes. But I agree. Yeah, somewhat. So, but no, anyways, it got fixed though, and it was like one of my guaranteed passes spots because I'd be coming up like, all right, go right, and you'd go right, and like, yes, I don't have to just haul
Right.
to get if I go left and he goes right to get around him. I could maintain my pace and it just worked.
Yeah.
You guys fixed it though. My little secret is no longer my secret because it doesn't matter anymore.
No.
Like, dang it, now I got to haul again to try to get around him at that Steve.
No, we're always working and always trying to renovate the course. So instead of like cutting new trail, we're always trying to fix the trail that's there. We're trying to add in more Steves.
I love Steves.
If there's a tree in the way, we're trying to take that particular tree out of the way. That way the course flows better.
Mm-hmm.
If there's ruts or rocks or a root or something that's just causing an issue, we'll work really hard to get it out of the way.
So I guess not 100-miler weekend, but but like, I don't know, a regular normal weekend. What does your week look like prior to us being there on Sunday at 8:30 in the morning to go race?
Okay, so like you've been asking me for the last 10 weeks to try and come on the show.
Yeah.
And I can't because
It's a Thursday.
Right, it's a Thursday because I start getting ready to leave on Monday. I start going through all my bikes, making sure they're okay, at least movable.
Yeah.
I go through the scoring trailer. I clean out all the trash and everything that's been piled in there from the previous race. Then I start hooking everything up, start loading my RV up. And then usually Thursday night, I'm throwing everything I can last moment into the truck, hooking it up to it, and then I'm driving it down the road.
Okay.
And so I'll get to the race course, or Chili and me, we'll get to the races Thursday night or super early Friday morning.
You do? Okay.
And then Friday, we'll start trimming and everything, the entire course. And if there's projects and we have time, we'll start working on projects.
And project would be like what?
Projects would be if Steves need to be fixed or add in Steve, or if there's a creek section that needs to be fixed, roots, rocks, anything that needs to be took out.
Yeah.
That's what we consider a project. Or like if there's a fallen down tree, we need to chainsaw out of the way.
Okay.
Usually projects are done on Saturdays after we get done arrowing.
Oh, okay.
So we've got it.
So you kind of go around and make notes of what kind of needs to be addressed.
Yep.
Go ahead and arrow and just kind of make sure that the course itself's good.
Yeah. So Fridays we walk it, trim the whole thing, walking it and everything. Then Saturdays we leapfrog arrowing it.
Okay.
And then also that's when we start doing projects. Chili and the grass track team, the girls, they're out there doing all the grass track.
What they do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And then
is Ashton helping? You said girls. Who's all?
Ashton does every once in a while. Carissa, Chili's daughter, does. Yep. Then Kira also.
Yep.
And then I guess I shouldn't say he's a girl, but Jeff Nethery, he's got promoted to the grass track team.
Okay.
He's our buddy from Kansas City.
Oh, right on.
So
he comes down and helps from Kansas City?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So he's been coming down to every round for the last couple years and everything and helping us out.
Jeff. Okay. Is he at the race day?
Yeah, he's out there. He's the other guy on the Husky 125. There's 3 of them floating.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just trying to put a name to a face, and it's not.
He looks like the Geico caveman.
Okay, still, yep, no. I'll have to meet him eventually.
Yeah, you'll have to meet him because he doesn't have Facebook or Instagram or anything like that. So
okay,
yeah.
Oh. So sounds like you're busy then. So like
we are
for like so at Westphalia you guys put on that race for the Missouri Hare Scramble.
Yes,
and you guys cut in a decent amount of new trail.
We did. Yeah.
When did that happen?
That happened as soon as The last hillbilly was over with.
Okay.
Prior to that race, and we were going up there.
So was that this Friday, Saturday period, or did you get up there earlier?
Well, that was Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the last month.
Oh, seriously? So you kind of
yeah.
hopped up there during the weekends?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah. So I missed one weekend because me and Ashton, we went to the Garth Brooks concert.
How could you?
Yeah.
I mean,
I know. Yeah. I sacrificed one weekend.
shame.
Yeah. And it was a good weekend to miss because the monsoon and everything came through that weekend too. So that was the one good time I was like, oh, thank goodness I'm not out there.
Yes. So, I just want to say TB Racing, thank you. He said he created a channel just to help share the channel, share the love. So thank you very much. I do appreciate it. So yeah. Okay. So I had a question from Richard, which was, what's more work, setting up for the 100-miler or doing and preparing for a 24-hour two-man?
Oh, definitely the 100-miler.
The 100-miler?
Oh, it's way more work.
All right, take me through the 100-miler. So for those of you that are listening and don't know the 100-miler, what it is, it's the biggest regional race in this area, right, I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and what it is a 100-mile race in one day at the course over 3 motos. There's a 50-mile moto. There's then followed by a 25.
Yeah, 25.
And then a night race, which is kind of a new course.
Which is three laps of about an 8-mile course.
Yeah, and then another new course. Reuses some of the stuff, but all the stuff new. You got strung lights and all that. I mean, there's a lot.
We pretty much do 3 race courses all in one day.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I guess take me through so it's always the February or the weekend after Thanksgiving.
Yeah. It's
do you show up like after Thanksgiving and start getting ready or?
Oh no. We start the beginning of the month.
Okay.
And I mean it's a full on month just of physical work. That's not counting all the work that Chili does on the sponsorship and the paperwork and everything else. He starts that like 2-3 months way ahead of schedule.
Okay.
But physical work, we start showing up Friday, Saturday, Sundays on that month just to get ready.
Yeah.
And then we both take off a week of work and everything, and we stay down there.
Do you get to stay in the cabin at least?
No, we stay in our own RVs.
Oh, okay.
It's easier. We have our own stuff, own food and everything. So
you're set.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll physically stay there over a week long and everything, just getting there. And we'll walk the entire piece of property, trimming it, arrowing it, ribboning it. I forgot how many boxes of ribbon. You got to think there's roughly, it's like 2,700 feet of ribbon.
Okay.
In a box.
It's like a half mile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we will go through probably 6 to 8 boxes of that, just ribboning the course and everything.
So 3 to 4 miles of ribbon.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot of, and it's not like there's just like 3 or 4 miles of grass track.
No.
There's maybe a half mile of grass track.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, but I mean, that's just to get everybody
on the right trails.
On the right trails at the right time, the right direction. That way the morning guys don't see anything that the night guys see, because they might freak out and not enjoy it as much as the rest of everyone else.
It's true. Yeah, because you don't want to be
the
morning guy doing something special.
Right. Yeah, something special.
I didn't enjoy that, and I did it, and it was terrible.
Yeah. The good thing is everything that we do throw at you guys in a 100-miler, we all tested ourselves.
Yes.
So, and we all do it on 125s also.
Okay.
So that's our test mules.
On 125s. Okay.
Yeah. So everything that we've thrown at you guys, we have done it first.
Okay.
And usually it's the only thing we have on when we do it is a helmet. And just because we're so crunched for time, we're like, well, we're here. We got to get the bike up. So let's do it.
All right. So we'll talk about, I have more questions about the 100-miler specifically. Okay. But I would like to start moving forward to giving Layne a call.
Perfect.
I don't know. Do you keep up with the GNCC series much at all?
I'm off and on.
You're like, it's 6 hours too short of a race?
Right, pretty much. Yeah. Or 12 or 24.
Yeah. Minimum, though, it's 6 hours too short.
Yeah.
Still, the idea of me doing a 3-hour race at the GNCC sounds suicidal. I want to try it, but it seems incredibly long. Guys like Layne do it like it's nothing. But Camp Coker was last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about the top three. Caleb Russell does what he does, which is win. Poor
Thad
Duvall does what he does, and it's so close.
Yeah, he seems like he's in the lead or he's in second, one of the two, and something happens.
And then thinking Caleb just figures it out and pulls it out. But and then Stuart Baylor, he's always the wild card. He could be like, I'm going to win this weekend, or I'm going to get 6 because if something wild happens. Who knows?
Yeah, definitely that. He's like checkers or wreckers.
Yeah, and but no, he actually rode pretty well. He wasn't that far off of the lead when it did come to the checkered flag. So,
right.
Yeah, I think he rode pretty well. I don't know if he was happy with it or not. I haven't talked to him about it, but I don't know. So that's your top 3 of the weekend. Layne was there last weekend as well, and he was 8th, but that's not his. I guess he is on his way up. He's improving. So, but let's see if I can get Layne on the phone here shortly, and find out more about what's going on with him. That crazy guy. So, it lost it. Just a moment here. All right, let's turn this down so while I dial. I'm not going to deafen you this time.
Yeah, that's what she said last time.
No, I'm really not going to this time. But no, so Layne is a West Virginia native.
Okay.
And I don't actually know. It's kind of wild. And I never thought about that when I started calling these guys, is that rarely are they ever home.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I'm sure they're all at somebody's house.
A lot in South Carolina. Thorne was in Alabama at the time and just all over eastern U.S. Layne?
Hello. What's going on?
Not much. Welcome to Enduro Talk with Wire Rush Racing. I'm Charlie Hawkins. I'm here with Jordan. Jordan.
Hello. How are you?
And how's it going?
Good. And we have, for listening audience out there, we have Layne Michael. He is a GNCC XC1 racer and a full gas sprint Enduro pro. Those are the top classes. You can't get any better than that. And you are racing with FXR and Amsoil Husqvarna this year. So, Layne, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Just kind of finished up kind of a late supper here. Kind of got a late start to my day. Ended up riding in the afternoon, and then I went to the gym. And just kind of got back in the house after supper. Just talking with everyone and winding down for the evening.
Oh, right on. And so, where are you at today? Are you at home, or are you somewhere off gallivanting around?
Yeah. I kind of moved down to North Carolina a couple years ago, and so I've been staying down here in Boonville, North Carolina. It's kind of right down the road from Caleb Russell's place. So we, it's kind of a weird deal. His wife, I'm actually dating his sister, so we're dating a couple sisters. Well, he's married to one, and I've been dating one for 4 years now. So just keeping it in the family, and it's good down here. I like it. They got a lot of land down here, a lot of places to ride, and kind of made this home over the past few years.
Right on. So I guess, what is it about, like, it seems like when I call, there's somebody you're either in South Carolina. It seems like South Carolina a lot, but the Carolinas in general. What is it about that part of the United States that's so appealing to you super fast dudes?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of the weather. You kind of got a little bit of everything. You got the mountains, you got the clay. You're not too far to, run to South Carolina and get some sand. And, the weather's a little better. I'm originally from Morgantown, West Virginia, and obviously in the winter months can't ride there. So I came down here. I was actually friends with the family for the longest time. I was real good friends with my girlfriend's brother, and I'd come down here and ride during the winter on, weekends off from school and stuff like that. And obviously just as we gotten older and ended up, dating my buddy.
Uh-oh. Layne?
Sister, and so it's a good place out there. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You cut out for just a moment, but that's good. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, but I think North Carolina, you get a little bit of everything. It's kind of got all the ingredients you need to do the job and to do it right.
I was going to say you were kind of describing Missouri there for a while, as far as southern Missouri, southwest Missouri, where we are, where we have good riding weather relatively year round. But then you went hard left away from Missouri when you started talking about having sand and everything else. We got a lot of rocks and trees around here.
We call that loam here.
Yeah.
Loam, yeah.
Loam. Call the rocks loam.
We have to almost, because there's just so many of them. You just can't get away. we go about 4 hours north, and you can get some dirt, and where there's more dirt than rocks. But yeah, it rained. So for the most part, though, like for Layne, for example, we've had some pretty wet race conditions here for us lately, and you get muddy, but it's by no means a mutter where you're digging your bike out of these, where these ruts are forming where your bike's just swallowed, right? Because there's just so much rock that you're going to get 10 pounds of mud, 15 pounds of mud on your bike, but you're not getting stuck anywhere. It's slick and whatever, but so that's Missouri. I mean, it is what it is. And but no,
that's about how it was where I grew up in Morgantown, West Virginia. It's very, very similar. All the tracks are there's just a hard rock base, so it never gets it gets rutted, but same thing. Like there's not like big swamp holes out there for the most part. There's just too much rock.
there's a bottom to it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
So I know you go out west a couple hours though, like to Oklahoma. They had there was a new series out there called the Okie Sprint, and they had perfect conditions Saturday this past weekend, but then it rained pretty good overnight, and they just had to cancel it because it would have been just an awful mess because of that.
Just too soft. Yeah.
Oh man. So I've heard stories about they had the ISDE back there in 96, I think it was. And
I think so.
It poured, and I just heard you still hear about. I mean, I know about it, and I don't know much about the history of dirt biking, I guess, or off-road racing, and just because it just got so awful out there. But but not here in Missouri. So tell me a little bit about your season. It sounds like you got injured pretty early in the year. Is that right?
Yeah, it was a pretty frustrating ordeal. I was down in Florida training, and I was down there for a few weeks, I believe, and things were going good. And I was down at Caleb's property down in Florida, and we were just all training. We normally do a longer road bike ride on Saturdays, and we ended up, there was a road bike race that was over in Gainesville, and we decided to go do it. And just a freak thing. At the end of the race, we were coming to the finish, and there's a dude, he just, it was like the final sprint to the finish, and he just, he would cut over on me. I had kind of nowhere to go. It was before I could do anything. And I just slammed the ground and ended up breaking my collarbone pretty bad. So it was a pretty frustrating ordeal to not even do it on a motorcycle. And at the time it was...
Okay, so you're on a bicycle.
Yes, I was on a bicycle. It's,
Huh.
Yeah. But it ended up it was kind of a crappy situation because the dude, you're supposed to stay on one side of the road in the race, and he was on the opposite side of the road when he cut over on me, and it was kind of a disaster. I was pretty frustrated about it, but at the end of the day, it was just kind of, a mistake that happened, and it was just kind of the cards I was dealt. So it was pretty frustrating.
Do you do much? Obviously, I guess you're training, doing road biking, but do you do many races on road bikes?
No, I was the first one I ever did, and I think it might be the last one.
All right. What about mountain bikes?
Yeah, I enjoy mountain biking a lot more. I've always I've done quite a few mountain bike races, and I really enjoy those. But convenience of road biking for training is pretty simple because you can kind of it's convenient. Like you literally hop on the thing in the morning and go and do it, where mountain biking is like kind of dirt bikes. Like you got to load up and whatever, go wherever you do, load back up, drive home. And so primarily road biking still the go-to, but I choose to go mountain biking over road biking any day just because it's more enjoyable to actually ride a trail instead of just a blank canvas of a road. So
yeah. Have you ever done a mountain bike race?
Yeah, I've done quite a few of them. We used to have a series that it still goes on, but I kind of quit doing them. But there's a Charlotte series, and then there's another one. I don't even know the name of it, but they were on Wednesday nights, and I'd go do them pretty frequently. Caleb and I would go do them, and yeah, it was fun, but it kind of got to the point where it's hard to push your limits that hard on a Wednesday on a mountain bike for the race, and then still try to ride Thursday and then go race on the weekend.
Yeah,
it started to become a little too much.
I was surprised to see on Instagram Jordan Ashburn had a thing. I guess maybe it was yesterday where he was like, "Yep, top podium on a mountain bike race." I'm like, "Huh? What do you know?"
Yeah.
So it doesn't surprise me. I mean, you guys are just super athletes, but
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So how old are you? I guess.
24.
You're 24, and so you've been. When did you start racing? How did you start when you were 3, or did you kind of get into it later? Or riding, I guess. When did you start riding dirt bikes and whatnot?
Yeah, I started riding when I was young, probably around 4 or so, and but I don't think my first race. I don't think it was until I was probably 6, maybe.
Okay.
6 or 7. I think 6. I did it on a Z50, so I had to be kind of young, but. Yeah, I kind of started out there and just kind of progressed to where we are today.
I have a Honda Z50 as well. I think a Z50R or something like that. Today, and I'm trying to get my 6-year-old to ride it, and he's like, "I'm not riding that thing. That's too old." It has.
It's pretty cool.
Does it have like the 4-inch wide tires?
My first bike back.
Say that again.
I actually ended up having the opportunity and actually have my very first motorcycle back. It's up at my parents' and my dad's shop. We got it hanging up, so it's kind of pretty cool. It'd be cool to have later in life.
Absolutely, and that's the one like the 4-inch wide tire, right?
Yeah, the big old fat tires.
Yeah. So I had that bike when I was a kid, and then my boy refuses to ride it. So he still.
That's a shame.
It is. I try to tell him we have a PW50. I'm like, Oscar, that PW50 is lame compared to this bike that's 20 years older, and he won't listen to me. But what do I know? So
yeah.
And then so you're racing the GNCC and the full grass sprint enduros. Are you doing any of the races this year, or what's your plan for 2019?
Yeah, so I ended up missing because I broke my collarbone. It was the week leading up to the first sprint. So I ended up missing the first 2 sprints and then the first 2 GNCCs. And then I tried to come back for Steel Creek, and I was fine. But while I broke my collarbone, I actually had arm pump surgery done as well. And one of the incisions on my right arm ended up clipping a tree first lap, and I ended up kind of splitting the incision back open. So that was pretty unfortunate, but now after that I had to get some staples in it, and then I was able to race the Sprint Enduro that following weekend, and then finally completed the first GNCC of the year this past weekend at Camp Coker in South Carolina. So
okay,
it's been a rough beginning of the year for me. So
how did Camp Coker go for you?
It was okay. I got I think 8th in XC1 and 9th overall, so not very good, but just the finish inside the top 10, I felt like was pretty good, because I talked to quite a few people, and they kind of thought that was a little unrealistic for me just because of the amount of time that I've, gotten to ride over the past kind of 9 weeks. It's been very limited. So I knew my ability, I'm capable of way more, but it's just it's been a slow start to the season for me, and it's unfortunately just kind of the cards I was dealt. So I just kind of got to buckle down here and get back to where I know I need to be.
Yeah, and then where you can be. So when you were injured, were you able to kind of maintain your cardio by doing like stationary bike, or what were you able to kind of keep your fitness up when you're off?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. So when I did my collarbone, I had it plated in 2 places, and anyway, it got plated and everything was good. Well, I started I still was going to the gym and doing all the cardio. And then like that first week, at the end of the first week after surgery, I kind of started doing some arm stuff. And then I had my 2-week checkup, and I kind of talked to the doctor, and I was like, I've been going to the gym. And I kind of got yelled at a little bit for doing as much as I kind of was. But after he kind of explained how the collarbone surgery works and all that, I kind of scared me a little bit. So I kind of tamed back a little bit on kind of some of the stuff I was doing. But, I was able to do as much as I could, with training. I was still doing the stair climber and kind of like the seated bicycle stuff. But all upper body stuff was just kind of, I had to kind of, stay in limbo. I kind of kept it pretty limited. I wanted the collarbone to heal correctly and all that. So when I finally got the ride, I think it was like 7.5 weeks when I rode for the first time. And I had the arm pump surgery done as well. And it's only like a 2-week kind of recovery time from it. But,
what does that all entail?
So there's 2 different ways of kind of doing the arm pump. I went through a guy in Iowa. He actually did like Zach Osborne's. He's done Jordan Smith's. He's done, quite a few people now. And his is pretty small incision. It's all microscopic. So the scars are, pretty small, and they're kind of on the, they're not on like the front of your arm. Like if your palm was to the sky, it's not on that side of the arm. It's on the kind of the opposite. So the scar is small. It's probably only a 3-4 inch scar compared to having your whole.
Right.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. But yeah, so they kind of go in, and there's like just the fascia that kind of guards the muscle in there that you always have arm pump from. They go in and kind of cut that fascia to where that muscle is allowed to expand. And now this is a dumbified version. Obviously, if you talk to a doctor, it's obviously they got the correct. But I'm just breaking it down to kind of what I know it does. And but it was well worth it because I've had great success from it. Other than a little hiccup where I kind of busted it back open, but that was kind of a freak thing. I talked to a couple different doctors, and they kind of just said that like my body didn't heal the incision. It was healed on the top layer, but underneath it didn't heal together. So it was kind of just a freak thing. I mean, it was nothing like I didn't clip the tree hard, but it was just, it wasn't healed. So when it just had a little bit of kind of momentum pulling it apart, it just flayed it right back open. So it was pretty unfortunate.
Yeah. So obviously for the season, I guess, because how many drops do you have for the GNCC? Do you know?
We don't have any. I don't have any for the sprints or the GNCC. So I'm kind of, out of both championships, just kind of out there to try to get a paycheck.
I guess that's my question, though. I mean, in my mind, I always have a goal, right? Even if it's, if one goal's obviously out of reach now, for you it'd be, top 5 or whatever placement in the series. What are some of the goals you have now for the GNCC or the full gas sprint enduro?
Yeah, so the full gas, they're the championship. Like I kind of had, I was real excited for the sprint enduros and GNCCs as well. Like I felt like I could have, been top 5 every race, if not like kind of knocking on the door for some podiums this year. And just, I kind of got set back here. So I'm kind of in a hole, and I just kind of, it's going to be hard because like it's mentally frustrating kind of being this far behind the 8 ball, and these guys are already, 3, well, they're 4 races in now, but 3 when I, first came in, and it's hard. But I just want to, work on getting better each weekend. I mean, this first race was, a big step in the right direction. I mean, I was able to come in on minimal bike time and, still run inside the top 10 and even run with the guys for the first few laps. It's just, you got to just kind of build that fitness up. I mean, I've been good off the bike, but when you just miss, 7.5 weeks of riding the actual motorcycle, it's tough. And, I want to get better. I want to be on the podium by the end of the year. And, my kind of contract's up with Husky at the end of this year. So I need to kind of, show, them and other teams like that I can do it, and I could be a competitor for the podium. And get them the results, that's, going to want to make them hire me. So I just got to buckle down, be mentally strong, because I know it's not going to be easy. I'm going to be suffering out there, but, I want to go out and I want to get on the podium bad this year. I've done it from the lights class from XC2 and made the overall podium. So, that's the goal. I want to be up there, and I feel like that's a goal that's achievable.
Yeah. So at the most recent full gas sprint enduro, you did get fourth. How far from the bottom step were you there? How far from third were you?
Those first guys, I think it was like it was over a minute. But I raced with staples in my arm, and I was pretty cautious. I'm not making excuses. Like I rode pretty good, and I got waxed the first day. Yeah. Like just straight up. Like they were quite a bit faster than me in the enduro test. They were beating me by whatever, like 15, 20 seconds in the enduro test. And I was just cautious. Like you can't ride cautious at those things like too much. Like you got to be aggressive, and I just wasn't. And then second day I rode a lot better, but still I was just off the pace a little bit, getting beat. But yeah, I mean, fourth wasn't bad. I mean, the guys that's racing them, I mean, you got Caleb and Thad, and I mean, those guys are winning the GTCs right now. So obviously they're on their game, and when you do get beat by them, like it's frustrating, but I mean, at least it's the best guys in the world that's beating you too. So
yeah,
I just kind of got to take positives, and like I said, that was kind of my first race, kind of back from everything, and I felt like fourth was okay. Getting beat by the amount of time I wasn't too stoked on, but you just got to kind of take the positives with the bad, and just kind of keep rolling forward. So
with your fitness kind of being where it is, do you think that you have a more not to say an advantage, but you be more competitive at the time being for now, at least in the full gas than in the GNCCs, or am I way off base?
Yeah, because full gases you can do out of shape, kind of like they're just short. You're not going to find a test really that's over kind of 9 minutes. So I mean, anyone can pretty much do it for that amount of time, So that was kind of good, like because it didn't like really run me down like coming into the GNCC this weekend. But there's still a little physical side of it. But I think primarily for me right now, it's just like I need to ride the motorcycle and kind of get comfortable, because it's still, when I get on it, I still feel a little uncomfortable still. But that's, I mean, yeah, it's just going to take some time, take a little bit of time to kind of build that bike fitness back up to be with these guys, because they've been going strong since January, and they're all healthy. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to be there with them.
Yeah. So you're riding Husqvarna. What make are you riding?
Yeah, I race the 350.
Oh, okay.
The FX 350. So I have really good support through those guys. I have like factory support. I had the KR4 kind of close doors late in the season last year, so I kind of had to scramble around and kind of get a few of my own sponsors together, and luckily was able to make it happen. Luckily, I already had a contract with Husqvarna, and they stepped up even a little more and helped me out with quite a few things. So I'm very grateful for Timmy Wagon over there, and all those guys. It's much appreciated, and just got to get back and get them some results.
Yeah. So and you've been riding Husqvarna for quite some time, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been since, I think this is my fourth year now, or fifth year.
I was looking through your results and just said Husqvarna.
Yeah. It sounds like you got a pretty sweet build too, because didn't Shane Moore just do an article on you in his magazine On the Pegs?
He could have. I don't know. Maybe.
I think it was, if I'm remembering right, and how whoever your mechanic is, how he took a head off another model and stuck it on your bike and did some other modifications.
Well, my it may not have been me. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
See,
Maybe I got someone else confused.
Through my race bikes, they're all built like through Factory Husky.
Okay.
So they actually, my race bikes are like straight from them with the motors, and it's exactly kind of how their bikes are. Just like I just have kind of the blue frame, and a few other components that are a little different. But I'm very fortunate that they supplied me race engines and the factory services suspension. I get to work with them, so it's pretty much it's very close to their bikes. Obviously, just with a few different sponsors that we have, it's a little different. But yeah, super grateful that they stepped up and helped me out with that stuff.
And then, so have you always ridden that kind of stayed on the 350, or did you try the 250s or any of the two-stroke models, or why, I guess, the 350 for what you're doing?
So I raced in the XC2 Pro Lights class. We have to race a 250 two-stroke or 250 four-stroke, or it's got to be 250 or less. And so I rode it for 2 years through Coastal. And then when the opportunity kind of came with talking to a few different people, they wanted me to move up to XC1 for the 2018 season. So ended up moving up, and the 350 is just kind of the bike of choice. Obviously, they gave me the option to ride whatever, but I feel like I ride the 350 pretty good. And then it's kind of the all-around bike, like, not too much. It's not, it's not enough. Like most bikes, or most tracks, you don't need necessarily the 450. Just that power, they're just kind of big and heavy, and I'm kind of a smaller guy anyway. So yeah, I think 350 is just kind of the perfect mesh. I mean, that's pretty much what everyone's on kind of a Husky or KTM just about anymore. I think, Bollinger, I think, is on a 450, and you got quite a few guys, I guess. Stu Baylor and Grant Baylor, they're both on 450s, but I think for kind of your medium build guys, we're all on the 350s.
Yeah. Is Trevor? I've never seen Trevor. Is he a little bigger dude, or what's?
No, he's not. He's tall, but
tall?
He's not. No,
okay.
He's pretty skinny. But I think he just chose to ride the 450. I think he just meshes well with the 450. It's good for his riding style, so I think he wanted to stick with that.
Yeah,
But he's a small dude too, actually.
Huh. Yeah, I would love to do a GNCC one day. Haven't done it yet. Have you ever done one, Jordan?
Once when they came to Missouri a long, long time ago.
Oh, okay. And
ooh, that one was bad. The mutter.
Yes, it was.
Oh, where was this at?
Is what the now smaller off-road park where they do all the 4 wheels, Jeep road.
Yeah, I don't remember. I was young.
Seymour.
Really? Down here?
Yeah.
Really? Okay,
yeah,
that's not too far. That's like 40 minutes from here. So
yeah.
it was a mutter. It
was a mutter. It was, I remember U-Haul Solomon when he was coming up to the line. He did a stoppie and hit the gas and cleaned out his back wheel before he set it down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was impressive.
That's pretty impressive. Yeah, that dude was one of a kind.
Yeah.
So it kind of throws out the whole, it gets muddy but not muddy here, or?
Right. No, it's Seymour, so it still had a good solid rock base to it. So, I mean, you weren't going to find no mud holes, but, I mean, it was definitely slop.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Huh. Okay. So, and then, Layne, what, I guess, so if you could just ride one bike, not necessarily in the GNCC or whatever, what's kind of your fun one to ride? Most enjoyable bike, off-road bike?
It's been a while. I'd really like to ride a two-stroke again. It's been quite a while now. It's been quite a few years since I've hopped on one. But, I mean, if I was, just say I was done racing and I still wanted to keep a bike, I think a 350 would kind of be the bike that I would get, because it's real fun on moto. You can still take it to the woods and trail ride on. It's pretty versatile with kind of all the stuff you'd kind of do. But I think if it was just pure enjoyment and fun, I'd for sure probably grab a 250 two-stroke of some sort.
Huh. So you race, you use bibs on your bike?
Yep.
On your tires, I mean.
Yep.
When you do moto practice, like, I see you guys doing on your Instagram clips and whatnot, running motos, do you put inner tubes in, or do you still run bibs and just or what do you guys what do you guys do there?
I was pretty big on bibs for the longest time on moto, but then kind of as I got a little faster, I could feel them flexing a little more, and then I like feel the tire roll, and so I've switched back to tubes actually for my moto bike. I'm lucky enough I have two motorcycles. I have one that's built for motocross, and then my other one's my GNCC or off-road bike. So yeah, I have tubes on my moto bike, but I run foams in the GNCC bike obviously all the time. So
yeah,
I was pretty against it. I was on a moto track once, and I got a front tire, and I crashed pretty hard. And I told myself I was never riding with tubes again, and I stayed that way for probably 2 years. I just rode foams nonstop, but I've kind of switched back over to the tubes a little bit.
Because I'd like to try. The reason I'm asking is because I'd like to try a motocross track at some point. No jumps. I'd like to try to avoid. I might roll all the jumps. That still freaks me out. But I guess you hear about, the speed and whatnot. The foam tends to break down more, and is that the case, or do they tend to last pretty well even when you're doing moto on bibs?
Yeah, I think it all depends on the bib, but I've never really had any issues. I mean, they obviously do wear out a little faster, just like with the abuse they're taking, but I've never noticed them breaking down any faster than what they would in off-road necessarily. I think like if you're riding like Supercross, I could see them breaking down faster, but just like with whoops and that hard impact all the time. But yeah, for like just a normal motocross track, like I've never noticed mine breaking down necessarily any faster than they would normally.
Well, there goes that excuse then. All right, I'll find another excuse why I can't do moto then. So
you're talking about having two bikes from your racing GNCCs and racing full gas. Do you run the same setup, or do you have two different setups for each one of them?
Yeah, so right now I'm on the same setup on both bikes. Last year I was kind of on different setups a little bit, but I kind of figured I was just chasing my tail a lot because like I always thought I wanted just something different all the time. So this year I kind of did a base setting. I went out to California and kind of got a base setting with the Husky guys, and that's still what I'm running on right now. And yeah, I just kind of kept both bikes the same. I think they're still similar. Like the pace is a little different, but I think if you have anything that works at a GNCC just about nowadays, it's going to work pretty good about anywhere. So
right.
Both bikes are identical.
Out of talking about both the formats, which format do you prefer? Do you prefer the full sprints, or do you like racing full 3 hours?
Yeah, it depends on the day. But I really do enjoy the full gas format. I think it suits me a little more because I've always been a real good sprinter and like up at the front of races early, and not that I'm not capable of running 3 hours strong, but it just does always seem like I tend to fade a little bit at the end of the races, and I think that's primarily a mental kind of thing that I fall back on rather than just running out of whatever energy. That I think that's a little to do with me, but yeah, the full gases are fun. I mean, it's intense, and then when you're having a really good day and your times are right there with everyone, and it comes down to the wire. I mean, it can be a 5-second difference from first to third, and it makes it pretty exciting. Kind of going into the test, it makes it stressful, but it's really cool.
All right. So, Layne, before we let you go, is there any sponsors or anybody that you want to try to give a shout out to before we?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely got to thank the guys over at Husqvarna, and then FXR. They've stepped up huge this year, as well as Amsoil, and then always have kind of the guys that's always been there. Scott Goggles, John Knowles over there has taken care of me for a number of years now. Then you got FMF, Hoosier Tires. They came on board this year, and those things are super good. If you haven't tried a set,
so
definitely
wait, Hoosiers making,
look into those.
Have they been in the off-road market before, or is that new?
It's kind of new. They're stepping up big in the motocross, supercross stuff right now too. But you know, a lot of people. I mean, I was pretty skeptical of them, and then they sent me a couple tires to test, and I was kind of blown away.
Huh.
And yeah, I made that deal happen pretty quick and got them on board. They're really, really good. I think they're just as good as Dunlop personally. For me, I've had really good success with those guys, and they want to get into the market. They got a good tire, so they've made a big push over the past year. And you know, I know Chris Bach. He's actually he's done the R&D on the tires, and he's a very good tester. I've worked with him a little bit over at Maxxis before, and so I kind of know, like, he's a good tester, and I talked to him quite a bit. And he told me they're good, so I tried them, and yeah, they're really good.
Who knew? I didn't.
Now, do you like them for on traction, and do they have like a decent lifespan also, or are they just pretty much like a one race thing? And
yeah, so that's kind of they're like a spur. They're super. Yeah. Well, I mean, just about all of our tires right now. I mean, you can run any tire, and we're probably only going to run it about a race, and it's pretty well burn up. But that is kind of they're like a spec tire, so they're like a Dunlop spec tire. Like, that's a tire they sell to the market.
Yeah.
And they kind of have, I think, maybe got like a little flack of them not lasting long, but I mean, they promote it as like the actual tire that, you know, their factory riders are racing, and I think it does get overlooked. I know, like, the normal person that's going to buy tires, they buy a tire because they want it to last, and I fully understand that. But these things, like, they got really good traction, and they got like the soft kind of carcass. They're really similar to the Dunlop. I think they're the 3S now, or 33s, whatever they are, but they're very relatable to those. But they do kind of wear a little faster than the production tire. But yeah, I think the results you kind of get from them are really good.
Huh.
Interesting.
Yeah. So is there any other sponsors that you got, or is that it?
Yeah, we got G2, ODI, CD boots, bell helmets.
So we were talking about G2. We had Cody Barnes. Does he bring you your throttle grips or your at the races?
Oh, Cody?
Yeah.
No. Does his family own it or something?
No, he is the support guy for G2 Ergonomics. So the rider, he does rider support, and so he's like he says, yeah, I'll do part deliveries at races. So yeah,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, now you do.
I'm just good friends with I need him. But no, I always deal with Sam over there, and he's always taken care of me for a number of years. So
okay,
yeah, I'm pretty keen on his stuff. His handguards, he's got some new handguards out that are really good. So
yeah.
Yeah, and I run their throttle tubes as well. Yeah, it's good. I've had quite a good relationship with them the past few years now too, so it's kind of good to keep them. And then we got IMS, and I'm sure there's quite a few others I'm forgetting that help out quite a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I got a small program, but it's been good.
Yeah, sounds like you got something going on.
Going back to your G2 throttle tube, do you run the stock turn, or do you run the quick adjust, or the
so I did run the quick adjust for, but I kind of just switched back to the OEM, just the normal one. But I did run the quick turn when I was on the 250S. I ran the quick turn, but then on the 350, I just kind of, I don't know, I didn't like it as much. I think maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've tried one, but I just run the normal, kind of the stock rotation now.
Okay. And then Layne, what's the best way to reach you or to follow you and what your activities going on in your life and the racing that you're doing? Is it through?
Yes, I've been a little quiet on the social media lately, but yeah, it's just kind of through Facebook. Obviously, it's just my name, and then Twitter and Instagram. They're both at Layne523.
Layne, and that's spelled Layne 523.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. My parents threw a curveball in there with the old Y.
Yeah, I did that to both my boys, and I'm already kind of regretting it, but it's the way it goes.
No, it's cool. It makes it unique.
It is. And then I named one of my boys Quentin, and I thought nobody named her name Quentin. Named their kid Quentin. It'll be unique. Sure enough, he has a classmate named Quentin. I'm like, what's the chances?
No way.
Yeah. So, you try. Anyways, cool.
Yeah, you try.
Yeah.
That's cool, though. I like that name.
Yeah. Anyways, Layne, thank you for coming on. I do appreciate your time. Hopefully you keep improving. You've made awesome improvements coming from what you from your collarbone injury as it is, and we're looking forward to your hopefully you get a podium or a few podiums here on the full gases and likewise on the GNCCs. And I know I'll be rooting for you. So,
well, thank you guys. I really appreciate it, and yeah, thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care and thank you. Bye.
All right, sounds good. Bye, fellas.
Cool dude.
Yeah, that was interesting. That was good.
It's always, you never know. I mean, I try to do some research, but the fact that, he's dating Caleb Russell's.
Yeah, you'd never known that unless you hang out with him.
Wife's sister,
Yeah.
What do you know?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
It's kind of just neat just getting to know these guys. And that's something you just don't find online.
Oh, no.
So,
No, it's so hard to research people and to reach out to them.
Yeah.
Well, just like you're trying to do, reach out to them to come on the show. Just in that self is so hard. And you're just praying that somebody reaches back to you.
Yeah, it takes sometimes you send it out, and 2 weeks later, like right before the show, I got a response,
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, cool. All right.
Yeah, exactly. And
So-
you're like, oh.
And the first question is like, how do I reach you? Because obviously it's not this way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because they'll check Instagram. I mean, these guys are busy. I mean, I think I'm busy. And these guys, they're doing something all the time.
Right. And they probably just don't care.
And it's just a distraction.
Yeah.
From they're so laser focused on being the best.
Yep.
That they got to cut out a lot of these distractions. And social media is a huge
Oh, yeah,
distraction.
definitely.
But anyways, my wife, she definitely agrees with that. She's like, you're on that phone too much. Do you have an Apple phone or?
No, I've got an Android.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say this thing called Screen Time now, where you can you get a report like daily or weekly, and so now me and my wife make it a competition to see who can have the lowest, and so every now and then I'll be real quiet about it, but I'll get on her phone and check hers, and if I'm lower than hers, I make sure I point it out. Otherwise, it stays on the down low.
Right.
So just kind of go back real quick. Again, I'm going to do a little plug here for Wireless Racing and Enduro Talk. If you're enjoying what you're listening to, definitely subscribe, listen, all that stuff. Remember, there's the podcast. So if you're going to the races or just driving for work, that's what I do. Whenever I'm driving around, I listen to podcasts. Do that. Subscribe, listen, share. That's the big thing is share with your friends, share with your fellow co-racers. Just get the word out there because I know if you're talking to me, this is probably one of the best things on the internet, period.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I totally enjoy it. I enjoy your videos. If just bring up the camera a little bit like you did last time.
Yeah, I didn't like that view. So what he's talking about, Jordan, not every time, but
I said it once.
Okay, once, but then I mention it a lot now. Is he said, hey, the camera angle's too low, and so you got to see where I'm really looking. It's like in the top third of the screen, right?
Yeah,
and I'm not looking center of the screen with the way the camera angle is. But this last race, I had my camera misadjusted to where it really is where I'm truly looking in center of the screen.
Yeah.
But I can't see my handlebars, and I just don't like it. I'm sorry.
Well, if you want to see your handlebars, move the camera down on your chin.
I don't think that's safe. To me, that's what it is. It's a safety thing.
Don't worry about crashing.
Yeah. Well, if you look at me race, you can tell that I dress for the crash. not for the ride. So
you have to think about your people. Think about your viewers.
Think about, yeah. Well, I'm sorry, viewers, but I'm not going to. All right, I'm not going to do the chin mount. It is my favorite view. People know Noah's doing it. Noah Clark 32. Excellent videos. And by the way, I don't know. Did you watch or did you listen to the end of the last podcast or show we did?
I listened to it. I didn't watch any of it.
What'd you think about that? Just kind of going through the race, and
it was good.
How did that go for podcasting?
It was good. I liked it.
Yeah.
I had to just pay more attention to what you guys were talking about.
Okay.
When he
you
was going through his
didn't
race.
have the visual kind
No,
of.
I didn't have the
cues.
visual because I was going down the road.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in my
Good.
RV
Don't
with my
watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyways, so that's that. Share with your friends. Get the word out there, and let's grow this. I need your help doing it. I'm trying to do what I can, but well, let's just be honest. I'm not that great when it comes to social media and all that stuff. So I'm just good at talking, barely. So, but no, where we was going to before we called Layne was the 100-miler. Mm-hmm. And I've mentioned this to a few in the past. I think you know where I'm going. You may know, is what do you see the evolution? Because it's always it's never been the same race twice, right? Do you see it kind of staying the same? Do you see it getting harder, or how do you see the 100-miler?
It's always It's always evolving. Like when the 100-miler first came about, Spud Simons, he's the originator of it, and him and Chili, and they started talking about it and getting more and more involved in it.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, when it first started, I just was kind of helping out here and there, but I was more racing and everything than really helping. And so the first couple years of the 100-miler, I was a racer. And like the very first one, it was the 2-lap sprints, and then even at the night show, instead of it being broke down into 3 laps, it was still the one big solid 25-mile loop.
Okay.
And nothing ever changed, or at least nothing changed on the laps.
Okay.
It was all the same.
No something special or no extra elements.
Well, I take that back. At night, there was extra elements, but you still did the entire 25-mile loop.
Okay, just one lap. So you only saw it once.
Yeah, you just seen it once.
Okay.
But then as time went on, that's when we're like, well, for better for spectators and more for the racers, we need to break down the laps and make them shorter and more enjoyable for the viewers, and make it more challenging for the racers too.
Yes.
And so, but like as a promoter and everything, every time we do it, we learn. We're like, well, this worked, this didn't, this was too easy. We need to make this more difficult.
Yeah, because kind of one of the things is when you started, or not you, but you guys, you've been involved from the beginning, so we'll say you. When you started the 100-miler, hard enduro scene wasn't really here in the United States.
No, it wasn't. The only thing other than the 100-miler was the last man standing down in Texas.
And that's gone by the wayside.
Yeah, it's done and gone, and we're 10 years strong with it.
Yeah. So, but now you have all these races. I mean, we just had the rev limiter, which somehow it always works. It's on the same weekend as a hillbilly.
They just get, I don't want to say they get lucky, but last couple years they've had theirs. We've had horrible weather up here, and we've had to cancel.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So, but, then there's, I guess TKO's been going on for a number of years now. It may be close to the 100-miler time. I don't know. Maybe not quite as many.
Not as many.
Tough Like Roar, Battle of the Goats. There's a ton of races now, right? I guess, and it's kind of becoming, we're seeing those races and then seeing the 100-miler.
Yeah.
The way I see it is it's tough to call 100-miler like a hard enduro anymore. And what's your thoughts on that? And are you going to try to keep in that?
It's a hard hair scramble is what it is, because we cater to everyone.
Yeah.
Instead of just trying to make it a hard race to where you have to buddy up with somebody, or to where you're going to toss your brand new $10,000 motorcycle and pray that it makes it over something.
Yeah.
We don't want that, because we're racers too.
Yes.
So we want it to be hard and challenging and difficult for everyone. but we don't want you to destroy yourself or your equipment.
Okay. So I guess along those lines, just I think you guys do an excellent job. Like Sea Rider, just getting through 50 miles.
Oh, yeah.
That was my goal, right? So in 2014, I went and watched the 100 miler just to see if it was something I'm interested in. I was like, yes, I'm interested, right? And so my goal for the next year was to try to be ready. I wasn't, but try to be ready for the 100 miler.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And come November, of course, then it downpoured and it was freezing cold and just miserable conditions.
Yeah,
right?
I remember that.
But it was awesome, first of all.
Oh, yeah.
But just getting through 50 miles, I mean, I couldn't, my first race, I couldn't even hardly get through 20,
Right, yeah.
And so the idea of like, oh my God, I'm going to try to do 50 miles here in 6 months. This is crazy. So I guess just getting through that is a hard enduro for a Sea Rider, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, HHR is one of the hardest places there is around here, or just in the country also, just to ride.
Yes.
I don't know. We always talk about if you can ride at HHR, you can pretty much go anywhere in the country and ride.
Okay.
Because there's not going to be that much harder of a terrain anywhere else.
So, but I guess where I was going is that kind of gives that element, and then I like how you guys make the second and third, they get progressively harder.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you my opinion here since I got you captive, right? Here's my thoughts are. One is make it. I like the idea of having an elimination. Mm-hmm. So you gotta make it. If you don't make the 4-hour cutoff in Moto 1, right? You're not going to Moto 2.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're a B rider.
Yeah, I mean we have a time frame to where if you don't make it out of the grass track by
you cut them off, but they can still finish. Say they have a terrible lap too because they're just out of gas. I mean, just physically,
right? Yeah,
can't. They're like, but they still line up for the next race.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody like me's behind them, just trying to bottleneck, like
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd like to see some and then step up moto, like the second moto a bit is my thought, and then I'd like to see still a shorter, I would like just to see more spectators or more. I'd like to see more of the racing. I'd like to see a shorter, more compact Moto 3, just so that we can
instead of an 8-mile loop, make it shorter.
Yeah, so we can see. I would like to see those. I want to see those guys,
right?
And and then possibly have. You had Chainbreaker. You had and then also something special. Chainbreaker, I think you put that ribbon to the left, a little too far to the left. You needed to keep us around. We just all went around that rock.
Yeah, we doing that. The Chainbreaker was in the 100 miler. The very first year it was there.
Okay, it was.
Yes, and let's see. I made the night show the first year. I was on the second row, and when I got there, I could see Kirkpatrick sitting on it because it was so, I don't want to say so bad, but it was hard.
Yeah.
And but this year when we brought it back to the race and everything, we went in there and made big rocks and the little rocks.
Yeah.
And we probably did that a little too much in areas.
Oh, okay.
But
and then because what I was thinking is like those are pretty decent walk and it's hard to get. So like there's Snow Hill and there's stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there's really challenging hills.
Oh yeah.
That don't have names yet.
Right.
That are within a shorter walking distance.
Oh,
I think. And I don't know. That's my thoughts. Is make it more spectator.
Right.
That's one thing that you hear a lot about the TKO in the last race and like the rev limiter is it's a couple miles.
Yeah.
Short, and you get to see more of them. And as a spectator, that's what I want to see.
Right.
And I think. And me, I know, man, it got kind of lonely out there, and I'm tired. Oh, yeah. But even though when I came through Chainbreaker and I came through something special, you get something from that crowd.
Oh, you do.
And it's awesome.
But that's one thing about it too, though, is when you're lonely out there and you're going up, like Kinney's Hill or
the wall for me.
Yeah, wall.
There was Scott, thank gosh. There.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're out there by yourself, you have to find it in yourself. You have to dig deep.
You do.
and
but
see what you're made of to
it's
be able
true.
to get it up and over that stuff.
I know. My 2 cents.
Yeah.
Do what you want. Nothing. But that's my thoughts.
Right.
Anyways, we'll talk about this next
Yeah.
November, and we'll have you in a year from now, and I'll be saying, all right, we need shorter loop 3.
Right. You can come out there and you can help us.
Yes.
And you voice your opinion as you're
There you go.
walking and swinging a sledgehammer and a pick with us.
So I had some questions from Ashton for you.
Oh, great.
So first one was, I think you know what she may be asking. 'Cause she asked you this right before you left. You said you avoided it, which was, who do you love more? Is it racing or is it? Hold on, I wrote it down.
Is my bike or her?
Who do you love more? Yeah, her or the bikes?
Yeah. I asked her which bike.
Yes, I like that answer. But no, so yeah, for reals. We know what the right answer is.
Yeah,
here,
we
right?
know. Yeah. Yep.
It's her. But like my wife, a lot of times she just like, you care more about the bikes. I'm like, no, I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
But I have to get this stuff ready now because I'm racing this weekend.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is, and it's my way to regain sanity.
Yes. Yeah, it's kind of your little world, and you kind of zone and do your thing.
Yeah.
It makes sense. So, yes, Ashton, hopefully that adequately answers your question. It's a very difficult question.
No answer is the right answer.
Yeah. And then this is a lot easier question here is what's the most challenging or hardest thing about racing?
I don't know. It's seeing what you're made of.
Yeah.
I mean, how much do you want it?
Yeah. That could be, now that you say that, and I just thought popped in my mind was really one of the most challenging things I have is time. You know, like getting on the bike, fitness, getting the bike ready.
Oh, yeah.
You know, washing the bike after the races. And that really comes down to how much do I want it? What kind of sacrifices am I willing to make as far as sleep or whatever goes?
Right, yeah. And I mean, and like for me, I haven't done a hare scramble in 2 years until this year.
Yeah.
And so my first couple races back haven't been that great at all because I'm not in shape for it yet. And I've had a couple mechanicals.
Yeah.
And all that does to me is that fuels me and that feeds me to want to do better for the next one.
Yeah.
And that way, I'm hoping by middle of the season, I'm back and I'm able to challenge for the win back in the front half of the pack and everything.
Yeah. So what class are you racing in now?
A intermediate.
Intermediate?
Yep.
Okay. Because you were kind of at the pro row for a while, weren't you?
Yeah, unfortunately, I was a donator for a couple years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Donator, I like it.
Yep. I was racing with the second half of the pack, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we were kind of talked a little bit about it earlier in the show. Endurance racing. Mm-hmm. You got the 9-hour coming up.
Yeah, I had 9-hour this weekend. Ironman.
What do you have as far as what's your plan? Who's your pit crew? What's going on? You got probably Chili's going to be there too, so you can kind of share a pit crew, or
yeah, we'll share a pit crew. Ashton will be there, and then Carrie, Chili's wife, his daughters will be there, and then we got Doug Gardner. He's going to be there.
Yep.
He's a really great mechanic and everything for us.
Okay.
And then he's been helping us for the past couple years and everything, and he's traveled with us to Perry.
That's for the 24-hour race?
Yeah, that's for 24-hour race.
Okay.
And so, and then like Scott Johns, he's helped us out a couple different times.
Yeah.
And so we just got, and then there's other people who are doing the race also there, but you know, it's not like their turn on the bike. And so they'll just come in and see how we're doing. And if we're in the pits getting fuel or anything like that, they'll throw a hand and help us with whatever we might need, whether it be food, fuel, drink.
Yeah. So 24-hour races aside, what advice, like, well, Rick Simmons, he's a veteran, but you know, he's somebody that's new. There's a person that's doing the 9-hour for the first time. What's the number one advice you would give them?
You just got to be mentally strong and you got to keep moving.
Okay.
And before you ever go, you pretty much have to go through your bike 100%.
Yeah.
And then you just have to ride a smart race, but you're not really racing.
Yeah.
Whatever your 100% is, back it down to 75%.
Okay.
Otherwise, I've only seen one guy do it at 100%, and there's the dude from Texas who just creamed everybody.
Oh, yeah. He's just wild.
Oh yeah, we figured it up 1 year. Out of the full 9 hours, he wasn't moving for 7 minutes.
No way. That's just so he's pretty much just fueling and gone.
Yeah.
So what about like food and hydrate or in liquids? What do you do there?
Food and liquids, just depends, and it depends on how I'm feeling or whatever.
Yeah.
It'll be like peanut butter jelly sandwich or some type of snack food that has sugar in it.
Yeah.
Drinks will be anything from Powerade to just water, and then refilling my Camelback, and then the occasional Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and sometimes you just need, like, the Dr. Peppers just helps get the caffeine and the sugar in you, but then it's just a break from constantly drinking water and Powerade.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting to say you at this 9 hour race, you back it off 25%, right?
Yeah.
Because for me, I feel like I made a lot of improvements as a racer
Mm-hmm.
at the 9 hour race, because how our team would do it is pretty much just maybe like we might do 2 laps first go at it, right?
Right.
But after that, it's just 1 lap and done, right?
Yeah.
And so how I saw it is like it's a sprint.
Oh, yeah.
Go hard. And it really, what it did for me is it got me more comfortable going fast.
Right.
And so it was kind of weird because I went and did this, and like the next race,
Mm-hmm.
I was going faster.
Right.
Like the next hair scramble race, like
Yeah.
an hour and 2 hours, hour 40 minutes, 2 hours, whatever. I was going faster
Mm-hmm.
because I was used to going. And so I guess it's like when I've never went out and just did sprints on hair scramble training,
Mm-hmm.
Hardwood Hills or something. I've always just go out and just ride.
Yeah.
But maybe I should. But yeah, that was one thing that was kind of cool about doing for me doing the 9 hour race as a team.
Oh, yeah.
is that I would push it as hard as I could.
Yeah.
For that lap.
Yep.
And then just knowing that I could take a break afterwards.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
and you're the exact opposite of that.
Yeah, I'm the exact opposite. If I pushed 100%.
And you still beat us. Or well, we barely caught you.
Yeah. You passed me.
Yeah, barely.
Yeah. But no, like if I pushed that hard, it was a couple years ago, like Chili and Steve Sturgis, they battled for 4 to 5 hours nonstop, full speed.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the day, they're just wasted.
Mm-hmm.
They had nothing left in the tank.
And then you came just bebopping along. You beat him?
I got Chili, but I didn't get Sturgis because he stuck too big of a lead on me at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then Chili, he probably would have got me too, but he helped with a downrider and everything. So it's
how could he?
Yeah,
it's a race. No.
Yeah,
he just can't. He can't not help. I think.
Right. It's hard. It's hard when you're sweep ride for so much, and then you see somebody down and hurt, and it's hard not to stop and just help them. Because like last year at the 9 hour, I helped a lot of kids out and everything within the mud. I just would pull over and pick them up and get them out of the line and get them moving.
Yeah. So what other planned races do you have?
I plan on doing the Missouri States this year.
Oh, you are?
Yep.
Okay.
I haven't done them in a while, so I want to try.
So you've done the first 3?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
the first round was our state race that we hosted. And then I've done the...
So you got I guess you didn't race it. You just got a work bonus there.
Yeah. I got a work
points.
average.
Yeah.
And so, but then I went to Stillville and pretty much had a horrible race there.
Yeah.
It's my first one back in forever. And then my throttle stuck on me.
Oh, yeah.
And then I went to HHR last week.
Did you get the throttle thing figured out?
I do now, yes.
Change cables, or what'd you do?
Everything. I changed everything.
Okay, that's one thing I always check. I want to hear that snap.
Yeah.
Right? Because if I don't hear a snap, I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, boy.
Well, it happened to me again last week after I replaced the cable and went through everything and cleaned it. Turned out to be I had a small crack in my air boot. And so it's sucking dirt in through there.
And then, then it was jamming up your needle.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay.
And so
I'm glad you figured that out.
Yeah, me too. It's somewhat sketchy when a bike hangs up and it decides to take off.
One of the worst crashes. Well, it was your race at Kilburn Woods, wasn't it? Was that a hillbilly, Josh?
No, that was a state race. That was
a state race?
Yeah, that was a state race. So, yeah, That's a bad deal.
That was sticky throttle.
Yeah,
Third gear, not
Yeah.
good. So,
exactly.
but okay, so you're doing the Missouris.
Yep,
any
doing the
other
Missouris.
endurance races you're doing?
Then Chili and I were going back to Perry Mountain to do the 24-hour race down there
As a team?
as a team.
Okay.
We're doing duo. And then a month after that, we're going to New York.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, and we're going to do the 24-hour race up there again.
Again, so you've done it before?
Yeah, last year was our first year in New York.
How'd you like that?
New York was cool. And within the 24 hours, we've had every condition thrown at us you could possibly do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the first 6 hours, I'd say, was a complete dust race. Off the start, felt sorry for Chili because he's our guy that starts off and everything, and he couldn't have been able to see about 10 feet in front of him.
Seriously?
It was that bad off the start.
Wow.
Yeah, and then because even when I took off, which is probably about an hour and a half later, the pack had gotten thinned out a little bit, spread apart. But, it was still bad. Just kept coming on people, or when people were passing you, it's still dusty.
Huh.
But then about 6 hours in or a little after that, the rain came.
Rain.
Yeah, and it came hard. And so we went from dry powder to just, it was mud, but I don't know really how to explain it. It was just slimy.
Yeah?
And then
So it got slick.
yeah, it got real slick.
Huh.
And then like goose poop, just grease.
Really?
Yeah. And then there's a couple sections that rutted up and got real deep, like no bottom to it almost.
Ooh. So did it get real wide there? Or?
No, not real wide because the property up there is on a Christmas tree farm.
Oh, okay.
And so there really wasn't any places to
go.
Yeah, to go wide. And so like there was one hill where when I came to it and I was going up it, there was people just sliding down it. It was bad.
And not for fun.
Yeah, not for fun. Definitely not. No, because and it's dark too. So
Yeah.
when the first time I seen it, because Chili came in, and he came in a lap earlier than I was expecting him, and he came in because he couldn't see because it got so dark on us. Because when the rain came, it was dusk time anyway.
So you didn't have the lights on yet?
Yeah, he didn't have lights on or anything, and I was already set up and prepared for it. But so I went out there and I did my time out there and everything, and I was like, holy smokes. I'm like, this is horrible. And so, but New York, they got these routes, and I don't even know how to explain them because they're just tree routes.
Okay.
But you could hit the same route, same way, every time, same speed, and every time, and it's going to do something different to you.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Huh.
And so, but it was cool though. They did a really good job with all the course changes because they worked their butts off all night.
Oh, just trying to keep you on where you can kind of keep going.
Yeah, because I think we started off with close to 11-mile course.
Okay.
And we ended up with a 8-mile course at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because they just kept taking out all the bad sections and just rerouting us because, it's a lot of work and everything, but...
Yeah, well... it keeps you guys stuff like that is what keeps you coming back.
Oh yeah, definitely.
If they would have said, "Nah, just tough," it's 11 miles. It's a hard race. Come on, what do you expect?
Yeah, exactly.
You'd be like, "Yeah, well,
yeah,
have fun at your race next year."
Yeah, but no, it's good because we feed off of each other and everything. All year. But
cannibalism style, or
no, not that.
Okay, good.
Yeah, but when we got to there and everything, me and Ashton and Chili and Carrie and the girls, and it was just us, and so we relied upon the girls and everything to help us out.
Awesome.
And they did an awesome job because without them, the race would have been 100 times harder.
Yeah. So, I guess. Well, how far of a drive is that?
Normally, I don't know, but in an RV and everything, it's probably like 18 hours or something.
Okay, so I was going to say, what is a bucket list race that you have? Is there? You're already traveling 18 miles for this race.
I don't know. I don't really have any bucket races. I just want to do
the Dakar. I don't know.
No, some of them sketch me out. Like I used to think the Baja would be fun, but it's too many bad things happen down there. And same thing in the Dakar. It seems like somebody always dies in the Dakar race. And
so, are there any races or series or whatever that you would like to do that you haven't had the opportunity yet?
Nothing that comes to mind. There used to be a couple of them before they quit promoting them and everything. Like there was one out in Colorado and one out in Montana. I thought it'd be really cool. That was in the mountains.
Oh, what? An endurance race?
No, it's just a normal
Just a race.
Yeah, it's just a race. It's like either a hare scramble or an enduro, something other like that.
Oh, okay.
And I thought that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
But it went away a long time ago, and
okay.
But I think it'd be cool just to be able to take a year or two and travel and just hit the fun ones, not really follow a series, just do the cool ones and everything.
Absolutely.
Kind of like what we did.
Would you enjoy trying to do the hard enduros?
Yes and no. I just don't enjoy chucking my bike.
Okay.
I mean, to me, it's not really a race if you have to hope and pray your bike makes it over without you attached. I mean, that's just, there's no skill involved in that. And so,
well, that's the problem is you don't have the skill,
right?
So
well,
that's why you got to launch it. If you got the skill, you don't have to launch.
Right. Yeah. The problem with that though is you're only going to get people to show up doing that so many times before you only have the 5 or 6 or 10 guys.
I think yes and no. I don't know. We'll probably get into that later.
Right.
Another show because
we're
running out of time. And I do appreciate you.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
Coming on. But just I'd like to try to cover what's coming up this weekend. So obviously we got the Off-Road Cup this weekend.
Yeah.
Awesome race. That's going to be in Wyandotte, Oklahoma. If anybody's interested, go to Off-Road. You can't just show up and race. Registration is closed. So don't think you can race there if you're not already signed up. But you can definitely go and watch, have a good time. Quite the facility. It's just kind of neat. Mm-hmm. It's this huge paintball park with all kinds of military stuff and whatnot. And then if you do want to show up and race somewhere and you're in this area is a very broad term, but OMA is having their first race of 2019. But it's Easter weekend, and so really that's it. I mean, there's not a whole lot of racing going on this weekend. So, Jordan, thank you.
Thank you
for coming on the show, and thank you everybody for listening. If you're a podcast, YouTube, Facebook, whatever, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. And what I really appreciate is you telling people about it. I know, broken record, but hey, it is what it is. So, Jordan, thank you.
Thank you.
And we look forward to having you on.
Definitely.
I wanted to have you mid-season so we could talk about what's going on in the Hillbilly.
Right.
I might have to make it a Tuesday show. I don't know. But
nah, just make it not a week where there's a race weekend.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yes. Because that's one thing. It's like, all right, I want to promote the race this weekend. Let's have Jordan on. He's like, no. I'm like, dang it.
Yeah.
So,
it's very hard.
It is. So, thank you, and we'll see you around this summer. Hopefully, I'll make some of the Missouris here eventually. Every race I'm not at, I get texts like, "Hey, where you at?" I'm like, "Sorry, dude, it's muddy. I don't."
Yeah. The weatherman, he's throwing us pretty much rain every weekend.
So I'm gonna do the blackjacks and not muddy races.
Yeah.
So that's my plan. So, anyways, Charlie Hawkins, Jordan Whitmer, Enduro Talk with Wire Rush Racing. We'll see you guys. Bye.